All right, you are here and watching the Nerdcore Live Show, the only show where we talk a bunch of nerd shit and we get into the random business. Here today, joining me is my wonderful friends, Caitlin, I said that correctly this time, and Kevin. And you guys missed out on a really short but fun pre-show. Remember, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Remember, you can become a patron by going to www.patreon.com/nerdcore. Subscribe to that $1 tier. You pay $1 a month. You get your episodes for the Gamer Core and the Nerd Chicano show a day early and all extra shows. You get access to the pre-show and you get an on-air thank you. So I'm going to thank all the patrons. Thank you guys for being wonderful. Go ahead and check out what you want to subscribe to. They're as low as $1 and as high as 100. So, really, I can't look at y'all without having to laugh because I can't believe we got you guys on this fast on this show, but
this short notice.
Yeah,
you guys had a good time, honestly.
Yeah,
because I was about to go sleep. She was about to shower. It was just you guys at the right time.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. I'm not gonna do it. You know, it's you guys need no introduction, but go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. I'm Kevin, or as most people know me, is Boomer Boomsyo on Twitch or on Twitter. I stream mostly Clone Hero. I guess I call myself what's the word? I do it all around gaming. I'll just stick to Clone Hero, but Clone Hero is my specialty.
And also the undisputed champion of Guitar Hero.
Actually, that's debatable because there's so many better people. Because I just play. For me, like I just play because it's fun for me. Like I was never into the competitive scene of it, just because I know there's people better than me. But I've been playing since Guitar Hero 2, and that was about 10 or 11 years ago. That's when I started my Guitar Hero journey, if you want to call it that. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, that's the only game I had growing up. So that's the game I stuck to. That's the game I got good at. So whenever I had friends come over, I play with other random people. If I went to a store, that was always my thing to go to. And of course, we were like, "Oh, he's good. He must, be like, I guess he's really into the competitive scene and all this and that." But I just play just because I like it. Like, I don't like to play hard songs necessarily. I like to play songs that are fun for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's the whole basis of what you do on Twitch is, you have fun. You're also grinding out this shit, but you're trying to have a good time and have fun. By the way, guys, don't worry about it. You can curse, you can do whatever. This is as free as you can be.
Okay, cool. Because I'm unfiltered sometimes, and it's just the way
I'm unfiltered all the time.
Yeah.
I'm Caitlin. I am number 1 at Clone Hero in this house currently. Whereas Kevin likes to do like the songs that he enjoys. I enjoy like the more technical stuff, the harder stuff, the stuff that challenges me to get better, which is how I got better so quickly. Because when I first came here, I hadn't picked up the guitar. Because I wasn't good at it. Like, I was a drummer. I was more of like a rhythm person, and he encouraged me to pick it up, and I did, and I was really bad.
I remember.
Now even he said that I'm better than him, which is absolutely crazy. I do actually have a Twitch. It's Restless Moonchild. I haven't been streaming on it, but hopefully that changes soon. And I also do makeup on Instagram at True Succubus if anyone's interested. Yeah. So
yeah, we're gonna give you the time to to plug and everything towards the end. But
plug.
Caitlin, why haven't you done anything on Twitch yet?
It's more of like a motivational issue currently. It's like being in between jobs, not really having like motivation to do much of anything. Like most of the time it's just me laying in bed, or I'm playing Fortnite, or I'm just starting to pick Clone Hero back up, starting to get back into my art, my crocheting and stuff. I want to open an Etsy for my crocheting and my knitting, so it's been a lot of stuff at once.
And I respect that. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I'm juggling so many things. I'm juggling film school, juggling a film career, I'm juggling this podcast. We're going to start streaming on Twitch soon as well. Yeah, I think, I get the whole motivation thing, but, those times that you're playing Fortnite, you can just go live on Twitch.
That's true. I could.
I've thought of that so many times.
Yeah, like, you know, that it's a grind, but oh man, is it fucking worth it?
And it's more so like learning how to set everything up myself, because currently Kevin's the only one that knows how to set up like OBS and stuff like that, and I haven't really gone that far into it to where I can do it on my own.
Yeah. No, I get that. Put it up on social media already, hoping everybody can come in. We had one viewer and now they left. It's okay, guys. We're gonna do this every 2 weeks. You guys already know. We didn't need the numbers. I told the people, you know, I said, hey, if you guys come out in numbers this time around, we're gonna do it every 2 weeks. But nah, fuck it, we're doing it every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. Yeah, that sounds like a consistent schedule to work with.
Yeah.
Gives you enough time to get, you know, your guests and stuff and people ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh, sorry, hold up. Brought up OBS. I don't want to bring up OBS. I was gonna say that that I don't know if you guys listen to the episodes, but there's a big schedule actually. You know, so Monday we do news. That's for Nerdcore. Tuesday we have our theme review. So we're doing Akira Kurosawa this month. We're talking his movies, and we did Rashomon last week. This week we're doing Seven Samurai next week. We're doing all these Japanese samurai movies from the 50s, you know. And then on Wednesdays we have a discussion. Usually those are like a big piece of the news that we didn't get to discuss that we have the time to finally go in more in depth. Then Thursday you have nothing. That's the break. But Thursday I do record something. It's just that we don't upload anything on Thursday. Friday you get the Nerdcore. I mean, not the Nerdcore. I'm sorry, the Gamer Core. That's the video game show. Friday you get and then Friday I believe is Friday is the Gamer Core. Yeah. Saturday it is the second review of the month. Second review of the week. This week it was Moulin Rouge. I did it with my friend Nikki, who she does streaming on Twitch. That was a really fun episode, guys. If you haven't listened to that one, go ahead and go to the feed and find it. Saturday, it's now going to be this. Okay, so Saturday was that, and it's now going to be this every 2 weeks. And now Sunday, you get the Nerdy Chicano show. And I have such a high, like a big schedule, and I don't know how I haven't gone insane.
No, I know it's a struggle. It's a hassle, like having to juggle, like doing your personal art stuff and then your mandatory art stuff, and then, you know, balancing your job and then your school and then all that. It gets overwhelming, but then when you see the end product as a whole, that's when it's the most satisfying. You know your hard work has paid off.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big believer of fuck the numbers. You know, I don't look at these plays. I don't look at the fucking subscribers and shit, you know, because first of all, we have 4 people who pay us to make content on Patreon. That's crazy. I didn't even think we'd get one person at all, you know. So, you know, we have that, but I'm like, fuck the numbers. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not looking at this for the 3 months that are coming by. I'm looking at this for the next 5 years, where I'm going to have Nerdcore in 5 years, or what the fuck we're going to do there.
Yeah, looking at it more long term, honestly, it probably helps more rather than just looking at what you have now. Because I feel like the reason a lot of streamers and a lot of people who start up like Instagram accounts for certain things or YouTube, like the reason that they quit so quickly or they stop uploading regularly is because they're not seeing the numbers that they want to see. Yeah.
I follow so many streamers. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Caitlin. You want to finish that?
You're okay.
No? Yeah, I follow a lot of streamers on Twitter, and I'm always seeing the things like, you know, why am I not growing as much as my friends are? Why am I not growing as much as this person is? Why don't I have this amount of subscribers, and why don't I have this followers? Guys, like, I mean, I'm always thinking, I'm like, y'all really trying to do this? If you're really trying to do this, how many days a week are you fucking streaming? If it's only once a week, pick that shit up to 3 times a week. Yeah. If you do that on a consistent basis, watch your numbers grow. And you really shouldn't care about the numbers at all, because, you know, if you really want this, you're looking at it for the next 5 to 10 years instead of the 2 months that are coming by. You know, really, you think something's going to change like that. You know, the biggest people who do, like, you know, this esports stuff and stuff like that, you know, they you know, they haven't even reached their peak because, you know, they went from like having like so small of a crowd, and then now they're like getting so many views and stuff, you know. But guess what? They grinded for 5-10 years of their time.
Yeah. And a lot of these people you see with high sub counts on YouTube, like we're talking Markiplier is one of the biggest gaming channels out there. He's been on YouTube for
8 years.
8 years, about 9. He's been on for a long time, and he just hit 21 million subs. Like he just kept going until people started watching his content, and he's continuously uploaded amazing content that people enjoy, and they enjoy it because he's the one that's presenting it to them.
Yeah, I agree, and then it's like, I'm just trying with this. I'm really just pushing one big thing, and it's the acceptance of nerd culture in society, pushing it through a diverse team. We have a lot of people in our team. Well, not even a lot. Like 4 people, but it's a diverse point of view. I have a woman on my team. I have 2 people of color. One of me, I'm a light skinned person of color, but I also have Luis, who's a darker male than I am. We're both Mexicanos who come back from the valley. We've grown up in different circumstances than I have Brad. We needed the white boy quota in there.
You always need the white boy.
Nah, he's not even a boy. He's like 60 years old, man. That's our joke. That's our joke that he's 60. He's actually 30. But, we present these points of view on pop culture through diverse points of views. And, it's so much fun. And I'm glad you guys are here. And we're going to get into the meat and butter of this whole thing, because it's going to be a fun time. And I want to kick off today with, I want to know what your favorite movies are of all time. If you had to pick one movie, your favorite of all time, I'm putting you on the spot. This wasn't on the show notes, but I like to do random.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay, my favorite. Okay, don't make fun of me or anything, but my favorite movie of all time is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
It's like that movie is entirely. If you look at it, like,
excuse me.
If you look at the big picture, it's essentially a video game. From the outside, like the big picture is just a video game. Like the way it breaks up, like the evil X's, it's like levels, a level progression, right?
Yeah.
Because the more deeper into the story you get, the harder his his foes become, and the stronger he gets as well.
Yeah.
And I saw the movie in high school, and I just became attached to it. I don't know why or how, but I just did, and I watched it over and over and over, and I never got sick of it. And at one point, I was like, you know what? This is my favorite movie. As cheesy and as eccentric and as corny as it is, it's my favorite movie.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm not. You should not be ashamed of your taste. That's what we push here. You can like the silly stuff. It's fine to like the silly stuff. I'm more of a fan of like the very serious and very more crafted work. But and Brad over here, he's fan of like literally anything you can give him. He doesn't mind anything you give him. But Caitlin, I want to keep saying Caitlin. I don't know why I keep doing it.
It's fine.
Yeah, Caitlin Stark. All right. So Caitlin, what's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time, honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say Mulan 2.
Mulan 2.
Mulan 2. In my opinion, it was better than the first.
What?
That is an outrageous opinion, I know. But the thing is that the second one, while it doesn't focus on, like, this big war, it more focuses on, like, the characters themselves and, like, where they're going in life. And it keeps this, like, theme of character growth and these people discovering like who they really are and what they really want in life.
Yeah, I get that. I can see where I'm a more fan of the first one. That's always just holds a really special place in my heart.
Really good.
Yeah.
The first one's amazing. Like I love it to death, but the second one is just like it tugs on my heartstrings and it makes me cry. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm keep looking at my phone. I'm trying to, put up the social media stuff so that way people can join in.
No, you're good. I go through that all the time. You're like, you get into the, the excitement of wanting to stream like right away, and you're like, oh wait, social media. You're like, no, I gotta start now. So social media, and then do it in the in between.
Yeah. I'm trying to grow the team. I want somebody to do the, the postings and stuff, like, because when we're getting this, I'm like, I want to keep looking at the camera, but I got to look over here to post things. So like, I'm trying to grow the team as much as I can, and that's what's next is having somebody to post the posts and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know my favorite movie of all time, but mine is Beautiful, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu. He directed Birdman, Revenant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a very, very, very heartbreaking movie. Like I can't watch it so many times during the year, but basically the synopsis of it is this man who literally has like, I want to say he has like a less than a week to live, like a week and 2 weeks to live. He's dying of like cancer, and he works in not the most respectable stuff. You know, he works in like not human trafficking. I want to say, you know, he makes sure the people who are like the immigrants that come in to Spain from Europe, I mean from Africa and Asia, he's the one who makes sure that they have like, you know, heaters or stuff to use when they're working. He's like the middleman in between this whole big change. He is basically throughout the movie he tries to prepare his children for a life without him, and it's so sad. And it's Javier Bardem's my favorite performance of the man. He was in No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I know that one. I know.
Yeah, and God, Bardem is amazing in this movie, and it's one that I always recommend to you guys. But get ready, it's fucking heartbreaking. I ugly cry, man. I ugly cry. And it's
what was I ugly crying at the other day, Kevin?
The music video by Marshmello.
Oh yeah, it was the Happiness music video. I watched it and oh my goodness. Kevin came home and I'd watched it for the first time and he asked me what was wrong because he genuinely thought something is wrong, and I just like pushed the phone towards him. I was like, you need to watch this. And then I cried again just listening to the song because all I could think about was the video.
Yeah, and that's you know, sometimes you gotta ugly cry. You know, my cousin was like, let's watch Room together, the one with Brie Larson. I said no, I'm gonna ugly cry. I'm gonna ugly cry, and it's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look good. And it's like, no, but it's such a good movie. I know it's a damn good movie. I've watched it like once or twice, and I cry like very badly with it. Yeah, it's I love these movies. You know, movies to me are so important. You know, it's the ultimate art form to me because it basically blends in all these things like music, design, and the whole art of cinematography. It's something so beautiful, and the way how the camera moving will affect you, it's crazy. But I'm glad that you guys tell me your favorite movies. You know, I always ask that one whenever everybody comes into the show. You know, I ask them first off, like, what's your favorite movie of all time? I'm still waiting to get Shrek 2 as an answer.
Shrek 2?
Yeah.
She was watching that the other day.
I was watching like, the original Shrek,
oh, the original
and then
Shrek,
I fell asleep like halfway through, and now I have to rewatch it. Well, they put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
How many of the Shrek movies do they have on Netflix? I'm gonna go check.
The Sharknado movie?
Shark or Sharknado?
Huh?
You said shark movies.
Shrek movies.
You said
I'm sorry.
I heard shark. All right. Gonna go ahead and check the chat, see if anybody's talking, or it's pretty silent today. I know today's, you know, like,
because I'm looking at your YouTube and it's not showing up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I'm right here and it's like live, and I'm already live and stuff. Yeah.
You think link me to it?
Yeah. You know what? I'll link you to it. Don't worry about it.
I clicked the link on Facebook and everything.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's the link to the channel itself. Hold up.
Oh, that's probably why. I'm probably looking at something else.
Yeah. Here you go. Here, I'm gonna send it to Caitlin. Or wait, hold up. I'll send it to you. Ay.
Also, have you seen the show Big Mouth on Netflix yet?
We're reviewing season 2 next week on the Nerd Chicano show.
I haven't watched season 2 yet because I didn't realize it came out yesterday, because I've been like, I was just talking to my friend about it a few days ago that I wanted to see it so bad, and I was just waiting for season 2, and then boom, it's here. Yeah. Like, no announcement, just boom, it's here.
Yeah. It had very little marketing, and I get that. You know, it's not the show that you're really going to market so much. It's not a freaking Daredevil, you know. I started it. Oh my God, it's even better than last season. It's freaking hilarious. So I gotta move over here to go look at the camera. Yeah, so guys, don't worry. We're not actually gonna be just talking like this. You know, we got some stuff to talk about, and I'm sent the invite to Luis, to hoping that he can show up. But oh man, at this point, I think he's gonna get in late. So you know, it's gonna happen. It's fine. I'm going to pull up some notes I just don't want this to mess up. Did you get the link, by the way?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
You got it?
It was coming up unlisted. That's why I couldn't see it.
Okay, no, that's not the one. We're on the public one. Yeah, the unlisted.
It says unlisted at the bottom. I don't know if that's.
Oh God, please tell me.
On your end.
Oh my God, damn it! I didn't put it public.
Great. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it.
Oh well, we got a fuck up this time around. Great. That just happened, and I also forgot to press recording on my the software for the recording software on my computer, so we can upload the audio version to our podcast feed. So today wasn't the best day. Today is unprepared, but now we have 2 viewers. Nice, awesome, that's cool.
There we go.
I can't believe this, and it's. Oh my God! It's what a day! What a day! You guys didn't miss anything if you're really tuning in. We've just been talking about who these 2 wonderful people are. Kevin, I've been in his streams for a couple of times. Caitlin is the one who I know the most. We're good friends. I'm not most active on Facebook and stuff. I don't try to. I'm constantly grinding, so I'm like, it's so hard for me to check up on Caitlin and you, and it's just. But you guys are my friends. I've got your back if you ever want to be on these shows.
Okay, you said you've been watching. When was the last time you watched? Because I don't even realize.
Dude, I think last time I watched, Caitlyn didn't even have purple hair, dude.
Oh no, the purple hair is like a month ago. This is recent.
Purple hair is super recent. It had actually started happening after I quit my last job. Purple was always the goal, but I accidentally bought the wrong dye, ended up with blue hair, kept it, it grew on me, and I liked it. And then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna start dyeing my hair purple now.
Was it when you left Domino's when you got the purple hair?
No, actually. When I left Domino's, I'd actually been working 2 jobs for about a month and a half. I'd been working where Kevin used to work, and I was trying to juggle like the whole 7 days a week thing, like always being at a job, never really being home anymore.
Yeah.
It was kind of difficult, so I quit Domino's and I took on the other job full time, but then management situations happened that nobody was happy with. And I left. I walked out. I've never walked out on a job before.
Yeah.
Because that's not something you ever want to do. Like, it's not something you want to tell your next employer is, hey, I walked out on this job. They're going to ask why. And it's like, trust me when I say it's not my fault. Please.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it 100%. I'm currently unemployed. Yeah, it's fine because I have a lot of time to work on this, and that's fine. It's still trying to find a job here. I've got 2 years of hotel experience on me, so I hope.
I've got 4 years of food service experience. I've got like 7 or 8 applications in, and I hadn't heard anything back. I called one of the places the other day, and they just switched out management last week, so he hasn't had time to go through all the applications, like all the other papers he's got to go through as he's just taking over the store, because I guess the old GM just like quit and he left. So
yeah. All right, well, I hope everything works out, but you always got to have your hustle, man. I appreciate what Kevin does. He tries to do this streaming thing, and bro, you just got to do it more constantly, man. You're gonna
and it's been like a month or 2 since I streamed the last time, and that's I have a lot has happened since the last time I streamed. There's this there's a money situation. There was well, actually, okay, let me start from the beginning. Okay,
yeah,
the main reason I stopped the first time was because we got kicked out of our house.
Yeah,
landlord decided, hey, you know what, we don't want you here anymore, you got to get out. So, and there was like a month notice, and they didn't give us enough time to get a good apartment. So we're currently living in the apartment that we got like literally the 2 days before we got kicked out.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin came along, and then, money, the thing of, helping her find a job, getting her that job, and then trying to juggle taking her to work, then me going to work right after. And then, all this stuff kind of, kind of snowballs, it's one thing after another.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got back into it, and I was going back at it I was in for like a month, and then what was it that happened? But something else happened where I could only focus on work because that's the only thing I could keep myself afloat, from drowning in the drowning of depression that hits you like I don't know for no reason.
Remember your hand happened too, and you didn't stream at all during that period.
That's what happened. That's what it was. I lacerated my hand in 2 places on my left hand.
Yeah, no, tell us about the hand. What happened with the hand?
Okay, I got 2 lacerations, one right here and one below my thumb here.
Ooh.
Okay, Caitlin was in the shower because we were about to go out, and I went in there because what did I go in there for?
You came in there to actually talk to me about something, and then tried to wipe our mirror.
I remember. Okay, we're gonna go hang out with a friend, and I was sending the details like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up like in about 20 minutes, so just kind of hurry up." And then I guess I was gonna brush my teeth or brush my hair. I was gonna do something, and I wiped the fog off the mirror.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, the mirror comes crashing down on me, hits my head, and as I put my hand up, I guess the mirror slices me in 2 places. So I gotta rinse it. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I've had cuts before. I rinse it.
And I'm over here telling him, hey, you're gonna need to go to the ER. You need to go to the ER. And he's like, no, I'm fine. Like, it's just a small cut.
Caitlin, I don't know if you hold on. I don't know if you know this, but you're dating a Latino, okay? We don't believe in the doctors, okay? We don't believe in the doctors.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. No, okay, so I wash it. I'm like, oh shit, I need to go to the fucking hospital. This needs stitches bad.
Yeah, it's like, come on. I mean, like, I've had a pain in my leg for the last 3 days where it's been hurting like a bitch. What the hell? I'm gonna go to the doctor. Why do I need to go to the doctor? Yeah.
Oh, I feel that so hard because I haven't had insurance for a couple of years now, but luckily I don't make enough for them to charge me the fee because I don't make enough to pay for health insurance. So they don't charge me because I can't afford health insurance. Like, what kind of world do you think we live in?
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. You're dating a Latino. We don't believe in the doctors. If we believe more in the curanderos than we do believe in freaking doctors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My grandma, if something was hurting, she'd take out the savila from outside the plant, start rubbing it around the leg in the area that was hurting. It's like, what the hell you need a doctor?
Vaporu and put that out. Like, you can say Vaporu and you're good. Vaporu some caldo de pollo and you're good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy at the same time, but it's like, damn, like, a lot of these things come from our, like, our indigenous roots, and that's the funny stuff. It's like, man, like, come on, like, when you're telling me he didn't want to go to the doctor, just look at the man. Look at his last name. You're gonna tell me he's gonna want to go to the doctor? No, man, come on. He's Latino. We don't believe in the doctors. Why do you think? Why do you think most Latino families don't say, "Ay, mijo, you should be a doctor"? Oh,
for real though.
For real. Believe in the fucking doctors. Oh man.
Yeah, but continuing my story of after that, it was just kind of hard to get back into it, kind of get back into the rhythm. That's the hardest part, just getting back into the rhythm. Because once you're in it, you're in it. You're not like, oh, I can one up it once you're in there. Yeah. But going into it is the hard part. Because when I first started, I was grinding hard, like hardcore grinding Twitch. Because I started from just maybe, Lizette, right? From your friends with her on Facebook. Lizette Torres?
Yeah, Lizette.
I didn't mean to name drop. But yeah, she's like one of my best friends, and she has always supported me since day one. And she's been like supporting me hardcore. Like, she'll shout out my channel, she'll shout out on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever. And since day one, I started with maybe 1 or 2 followers to 100 in about like 2 months. That for me was huge because I never thought it would reach that far that fast. And then I peaked at about 5 subscribers, I think. It was like a couple, like most of them were from friends, and one from this really, really, really dedicated viewer. His name is Crazy Kid King. He's been watching since when I first started Clone Hero, because I started off with Resident Evil 7. That's when I started streaming first. No cam, straight out of my PS4, nothing.
Hey, and you gotta appreciate that grind. I appreciate that grind. Without the webcam, streaming straight from the freaking console, that is so respectable, man. You want to know how we started this show?
How?
It wasn't even this mic. It's a blue snowball. Had my friend in front of me for the first episode, and every day after that, guess what? I plugged in my speakers to my computer, put them really close to my microphone, and I had to speak really loud so that way it could catch the voice, and the Google call would play into the microphone, so we can capture it. And if my internet was acting shitty, grab this phone, put it right there for the phone call, and then they would talk into her. Now I'm
that's like. No, it's because like most people think like, hey, I need this expensive setup. I need to get the best computer. I need to get the best microphone, the best webcam, the best this, best that. When like most big people, they started off with the shittiest of the shittiest equipment, you know?
Yeah.
They started with their piece of shit laptop, maybe their console. It could start them up, or, you know, like they're capturing, you know, if they're starting up PC games, they use Fraps because it's free. Yeah. Or now that we have OBS and that's way easier, but like you start off with Fraps, start off with, you know, they have the watermark in the middle of the screen. So like start off small, you know? You have to start with what you got. You can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna, because if you wait to buy all the good stuff, you're never gonna get started. You know?
And honestly, I feel like starting with a small, like, not so great equipment helps people in the long run, because when you get this expensive equipment, you already know how to troubleshoot issues that are going to happen, because you know problems are going to happen. It always does. Like, something is going to go wrong at some point, and eventually you'll be able to fix it, you know?
Yeah.
Because you've started out with this equipment that's always screwing up. You started out with equipment that's not so great. Like, you know how
to
fix things.
Another reason I stopped streaming, I just remembered. My laptop screen shattered. That's what happened.
Ooh.
That's the second time why I stopped, because my laptop screen shattered at Starbucks while I was editing a freaking video.
How did it shatter?
It's because I was getting ready to leave, and like I had dust on it. I don't know why I had dust, but so I was like, okay. I grabbed like a napkin. I was like, hey, let me wipe off this dust real quick. And I guess I wiped too hard, and it shattered my screen.
Oh my god. Okay,
yeah, I guess I did it too rough or something, but like I could still plug it into like my monitors and stuff, but I guess it used up some processing power in doing that, and like my stream quality went way down.
Yeah.
So I stopped until I upgraded.
Yeah. So I wanted to just say something about this. Yeah, you know, that little stream, you know, that little setup. You know, when you begin and stuff. For everybody who wants to make a podcast, it has never been easier. You have this in front of you. You have a smartphone. Sure. There's Anchor. Anchor, you can record into it. You can upload. They do the web hosting. They put your platforms on all of them. Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you want to have your podcast on. If you have this, you have the power to make a podcast right now. Yeah. So that's what we've been on for a year. It's great. You know, and you're even able to get paid now. You know, you get listener support. You can have somebody donate monthly money to your podcast. You know, we just been having the greatest support when we do this. And I want to tell you, just like Kevin started from a console, you can just start off this. This one thing can record a 1 hour long podcast, 30 minutes long, whatever you want to take on it, and upload to that website. And it sets up your podcast, puts you on Spotify and all those platforms, you know, but you got to put the work in after. So, you know, it's time that we talk, you know, it's time that we actually get into the good stuff. You know, we got to talk about some stuff. You know, I like to do the random stuff, but, you know, we got to do a hit one movie news right now. We're going to do one of them. We're going to do a lot more. We're going to take a little break soon, just, you know, to a little restroom break, you know, gotta get rid of the liquids, you know. We're gonna talk about some stuff, and I've got the first thing today. New York Comic Con is going on right now. They had the Daredevil panel, and we just got Bullseye confirmed. For y'all who don't know Bullseye, he is a big villain. He is probably one of my favorite villains in the Daredevil universe, and you guys might know him, might remember him from the Daredevil movie that we don't like to talk about on here because
that movie never existed.
We want to act like that movie never existed, but hey, the way that Venom's been treated, I think we're going to have to put that one up there sooner or later. All right. So, Daredevil Season 3, that new trailer came out, and I want to talk with y'all. You know, Kevin and Caitlin, have y'all watched Daredevil Season 1 and 2?
I have.
You have?
I have not.
You're missing out on a really good show.
Yeah.
Season 2 with the Punisher.
It's the better one out of the Defenders, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I am so excited for this season. Fisk, it's, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio does a great job as Wilson Fisk.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's crazy how accurate this guy looks like him. It's like, with this whole universe of the Netflix shows, Kristen Ritter to me is Jessica Jones. John Bernthal is Punisher. Charlie Cox is Daredevil, but Vincent D'Onofrio 100% is Fisk. especially with everything you see from the man, mannerisms, acting, style, the physical way he looks, it screams Fisk to me.
I don't know if you've played the Spider-Man game any. I don't know.
No.
But if Fisk in the Spider-Man game, it looks like they modeled him after the Netflix Fisk because they look very, very, very similar.
Yeah. Part of me wishes that they would have gotten Vincent D'Onofrio to do the voice for that one. But, I can't have everything. I can't have everything.
I mean, like, to me, I'm not a big fan of his voice just because he talks like he's talking through his mouth closed. And I get he's trying to do, like, an angry voice. But that's just my opinion. Like, it's not the greatest thing, but it suits the character. Like, you assume Fisk is this money-hungry, powerful man who always needs to be on edge because someone is always trying to take away his money, his power, his guns, his whatever. So it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I just love the man. The man does a great job, and there are things that I don't like about Fisk, and it mostly stems from the idea that we haven't had him for a long time. And I'm very scared that this is the season that he leaves, that he dies, and because it's building towards Daredevil having his first kill, because Matt has been so off the rails, and the way they describe it is that he's completely going 100% Daredevil, and Matt Murdock will just not exist in that head of his anymore. And it just looks so good. What did you guys think about the trailer?
Oh man, the trailer, it blew my mind. Like the route they're going, like they're making, like, okay, like they said in the trailer, like they're gonna make Daredevil seem like the bad guy, and for him to resort to doing stuff he's not gonna be proud of, and just the stuff he's been not wanting to do since season 1. Not kill, not permanently hurt anyone too bad. Go against his own morals. I think that's him. It's him finding his own inner demons in order to save his section of New York.
Yeah.
And honestly, as someone who's a non-watcher of Daredevil, someone who hasn't seen any of the seasons, it makes me want to watch it just to catch up to that point where, you get to this storyline where they're trying to break this character, where they're trying to like push and push until this character is like snaps. That's something that I like to see a lot of the time, especially in these superhero movies.
Yeah. Because, you get the campy stuff. Like, the Netflix universe is not the campy stuff,
No.
Oh, far from it. And, the movies, you get really, like, campy. You get some really, like, family-friendly dives into these characters. And then there's these who are not. Like, they have very dark stories to them. And, everybody's always... I give that praise to DC because they know that their characters are dark. They have dark past, and they have to, touch on that. So that's why I'm so inclined to watch these Netflix shows, is because they're going into a different form of looking at these characters, especially because the ones we have right now, they have very traumatic pasts. Especially the Punisher. I mean, everybody who's watched the Punisher knows that story is nothing that you can make campy at all.
Oh yeah. Everything about, his whole upbringing is just him, like, revenge. Everything just screams revenge, and nothing about revenge is, candy corns and sunshines.
It's not really family friendly at that point, because a lot of the superhero movies you'll find that are in theaters that come out on Blu-ray, or they come out like DVD form. A lot of them, they use a lot of humor and a lot of like fluff to kind of make this stuff family friendly, whereas Netflix is more like, these are these characters' backstory, and we're not gonna change it because we know that the backstory isn't family friendly. So,
and I appreciate that so much, because we finally got the right interpretation of Daredevil, of Jessica Jones, of Punisher. These are the hard R violence that you see in Punisher. It's, oh my God, like, it is really out there, and I can't wait for Daredevil season 3. That comes out October 19th. We will be reviewing it here on the Nerdcore, not the live show, but the podcast. Don't worry, guys, we'll get that. We're also going to review the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina when that comes out.
I'm really excited for that, just for nostalgia effect, because I grew up watching the original TV show.
Yeah, me too. But this one's taking more of the route of the comic book, so I'm really excited to see that.
I'm still really excited to see it, just because like I'm gonna be like, oh hey, that's Sabrina, oh Salem, oh the aunts, oh this and that,
Just give me a whole series with Salem. That's really what I need.
Oh yeah, Salem, like for real, he's a show stealer. Like the entire like original TV series, like he was a show stealer, man. His comedy was underrated because it was so like, I don't want to say like not dark, but like it just had these like dark undertones,
He's so nonchalant about things.
Yeah, too. Yeah. That's the thing. Like he's like, oh, I wanted to take over the world. That's not that big of a deal. Oh, I killed a bunch of people. No, that's not a big deal.
No.
I love Salem. He's one of my favorites. So I mean, that's our talk with Daredevil season 3. You're just gonna have to wait for us to review that on the Nerdcore podcast. As always, you can find that on all podcast platforms. Check out the feed. We have so many cool stuff. The audio version of this live show will be available on the feed. But for now, we're going to go ahead and do something. Let me check what I have on my notes, actually. I need to check that.
Why don't we go back into that nostalgia deal? Because I did see something about nostalgia playing like a big part.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's about this thing.
I could just segue right into that at this point.
Yeah, you want to talk nostalgia? I got a big one because the PlayStation Mini, they're making that.
Actually, yeah. I read about it. I saw the stuff.
Let me see this, I haven't looked for it.
Like $100 price point, I feel like it's not a good selling point for PlayStation, because the PS1 didn't have that many great games. Not a lot of people like, oh, I remember that game on the like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, maybe.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 as well.
Yeah, those are your heavy hitters, and like Final Fantasy, those are your heavy hitters. But like that's about it. You can't charge $100 for like 3 good games and maybe like 20 other mediocre bad games.
And here's the thing: is that I saw someone say something the other day online about how, like, the video game industry now and a lot of like the TV shows and the movies that people are consuming in our age range are things that we remember from our childhood. So they're pushing more of that on us. We saw the same thing with, what was that one that the mini like Super Nintendo. I actually bought that for
the SNES.
I was super interested in having one because I don't have like a regular Super Nintendo, so I was like, that's a good alternative. But someone said it feels like they're just reselling us our childhood, just knowing that they can make money off of us just based on like nostalgic feelings and how we used to feel.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We're also seeing it with I'm going to go ahead and touch on this subject, even though so many of you are going to get mad, because I actually am looking forward to Titans on the DC Universe streaming service, and it's also coming to Netflix. The reason people did not react well to that trailer is because they expected it to be a rehashing copy-paste of the cartoon. Guys, if you even read the comic books, you know that the cartoon isn't even anything close to what that is. And it's sad to see where nostalgia comes into effect. And I'm gonna go ahead and touch on Star Wars 2. So if you guys don't like The Last Jedi, viewers, fuck y'all. I love the Last Jedi. People didn't love that movie because it finally decided to do something different than what Star Wars was doing for so long.
Yeah.
And I this console, man, I'm telling you, it's just a reselling. $100. I'm not even willing to pay that much for a game, and you're gonna tell me I need to pay that much for a console that comes with 7 games that I can just play on my PS1?
Wait, it only comes with 7 games?
Yeah, I believe. I'm sorry. I believe that Final Fantasy 7 is one of them. Hold up, I just closed the stupid the article.
Yeah, no, because $100 for that kind of for that kind of like technology, it's kind of ridiculous, and it's definitely playing on the fact that like it's playing on people from our age range, like, hey, this is what they grew up playing, this is what they loved, let's bring it back, because they know that they're gonna have a market for it.
Yeah, so there's actually 5 confirmed right now. Final Fantasy 7, Jumping Flash, R4 Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3 and Wild Arms. All of the preloaded games will be playable with their original format. And I remember reporting on this thing on the Gamer Court that there will be actually no content post-launch.
For $100, okay, I saw the article right now. It's 20 games for $100 for outdated games, outdated graphics, outdated, everything for $100. That doesn't seem like a good deal. Like you get a mini PlayStation with maybe one controller, possibly two. Like I know we don't know the details yet. But like for $100, it just seems overpriced, nostalgia machine,
How much was the Super Nintendo mini that I bought?
I didn't buy one.
It was like $72.
It was like $60 or $70.
72, I think.
That's the price of one game right now, and that makes sense because they're old, outdated games.
Yeah, and it came with like how many games did it come with preloaded on?
Like 20 something.
And you can load more games onto that, can't you?
Yeah, and
they made it available to where you can still add more games.
I mean, they didn't make it available. You just kind of could because it was
you can.
What is it like? It's just a ROM, right?
Yeah,
it's just a ROM
just
player.
A ROM. Hold up, guys. The old man, our other co-host, finally decided to jump in. He's like, "Put me in, coach."
Yes,
I'm coming, Brad. Sorry, I just looked at the chat right now.
And it all ties back into what you guys were talking about is Sabrina, how a lot of people from, again, our age range are super hyped about this show because it's a show that they grew up watching. They're excited to see their old characters. They're excited to look for those characters and see if they're any different, to see if it sticks with like an original story or if they go off and do their own things.
Yeah. It's completely nostalgia factor, and I my knowledge of video games, it only goes so far. I know with movies, people constantly complain, "Oh, Hollywood is just giving the same thing over and over again." Well, where are y'all when the movies like Lady Bird, Shape of Water, The Nice Guys, something original that comes out? I'll be in that theater with at least 3 to 4 people. But when the remake of whatever, when the newest superhero movie is up there, if something's in there, I'm in there and it's a packed house. Where is this excitement for original content? And it's people could say it's like it just doesn't cater to me. I'm like but are you giving it a chance? Are you even trying to go watch it? If you're willing to spend $11 to $12 for a movie ticket for a movie you're gonna come out and bash, why don't you spend spend that money on a movie that you might like? Oh, and look who joined us. The good old Random Germ 101, a.k.a. Young Yoda. Bradley Simmons is in the house, everybody.
Sorry,
this is my co-host, Brad. He's with me on all the shows, except for the Nerd Chicano show. He's the man that we needed to meet the white boy quota. Yeah. Brad, how are you, dude?
Tired, but I'm here.
All right, you came in pretty late, but just give me
I know.
Give me your burning thoughts on the PlayStation Mini.
The what?
The PlayStation Mini.
The original PlayStation Mini. I thought you were talking like the PS4 going smaller.
No, you idiot. What the hell's wrong with you?
Many things, man. Many things.
Well, this is coming from the man. You guys don't follow me on Twitter, but you know what this man fucking tweeted this week? He goes, in the spirit of Halloween, I would like to say that at the Nerd Chicano has pumpkin nipples. What the fuck, man? What the hell's wrong with you, Brad?
At least I didn't say they were jack-o'-lanterns.
Shut up, dude. Well, say hello to our guests, by the way. This is my friends Catlin and Kevin. Catlin, here we go again.
Just call me Kat.
Kat.
All right.
Okay, this is my friend Kat.
Good to meet everyone.
Kevin.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
They're the emergency guests.
Yes, thank you for keeping him company.
Luis still isn't here yet. I think that's hilarious. But Brad, give me your thoughts on that PlayStation Mini Classic console.
I was just looking at some of the games off the trailer when it was released. And nothing really I want.
Nothing you really want?
That I don't already have or have already played.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
But if they want to give me that Final Fantasy VII remake, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Oh, very down for that. By the way, guys, we're gonna go ahead and into a little break right now. I'm gonna go, do the restroom and stuff like that. Might go, but we've got good stuff to show you during the break. So do not leave, guys. This has been Nerdcore Live. We're going on a little break. Before we come back, we are gonna do a lot of cool stuff. Brad's gonna read his 5 favorite movie quotes of all time in that very actor voice. I'm going to recreate this opening scene from It 2017, and I'm gonna present you to Pennywise. Yes, and
that's not creepy.
We're gonna do a lot of good things. So, guys, stick there. We're gonna go on a little break. Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're probably enjoying this live show we're doing, and I just want to talk to you about one thing only. Don't worry, I'm taking too much of your time. Patreon gives creators the freedom to make extra content and be financially compensated in return. There's so many tiers that we offer you guys on the Patreon page, from $1 to $100. You can get episodes early, or you could actually be a producer on the show and write an episode of the Nerdcore. We offer it all. We want to give you people the best of what we can make for you, and that is why we started Patreon. You can go to Patreon, look at a tier. You can even join our movie club, my movie club. We review movies a month, and we get to talk to them. We get to talk to them all on the Nerd Chicano show, and we review them together. But just remember, you have to go to Patreon. You have to choose that tier in order to get that stuff. It's a lot of fun stuff. Go to www.patreon.com/nerdcore and subscribe to a tier, pledge to a tier, and we'll see you. Remember, talk to nerd.
And so the story opens up to a burnt down, I guess you could call it temple or castle, one or the other, called Rashomon. And there is a vagrant, a priest, and a woodcutter. And the priest and the woodcutter go through telling the vagrant about their story they had just heard at the castle, at a castle courtyard, involving the death of a samurai, and involving all these characters, the samurai's bride, a bandit, and in the end, the woodcutter story, which he doesn't tell at that time, but he tells at the end. And they basically go through and each gives their version of how this man came to be murdered. And it's just an excellent way of, what is true in all of this. And, who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth. The bandit goes into it, and he talks how he basically wooed the bride, and then he faced the samurai and killed him in combat honorably. The bride has a different story in that it wasn't such in that way. And, then actually the samurai tells his own story through a medium, which, is kind of cool, because he tells how his bride had told the bandit to kill him. And then you get the woodcutter's story at the end, which kind of tells the true story, and just how horrible all three of these individuals were. So it's a really good, and it's only like an hour and 30 minutes.
So giddy up in your horses, because we got the second gameplay trailer. Talked about the heists, and we also got to look at the first person mode. I want to get our guests' input first. Colton, what did you think about the gameplay trailer, the second gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2? And did you not just watch it before we went on air?
All right, so first off, I gotta ask, how southern do you want me to get? Because I'm from the prairies of Canada, known as Saskatchewan, and we can get pretty southern.
Well, I think the action you're doing right now is pretty good.
All right, so yes, sir, I definitely did just watch that video, and I am happier than a pig flopping around in a big old pile of shit. This game looks super exciting. I am very, like, when I played the first Red Dead, I'm pretty sure I played every side quest there was. So I am very excited because just the amount of stuff they added, like the bank heists alone, make me woo!
All right. Brad, anything that got your attention? At this point, they can just show the plants growing on the goddamn ground, and I'm going to want to buy this game. They ain't got to do more. They're just really just slapping my ass around at this point.
Woo-wee! Well, Raul, I definitely got to say, you probably like them their horse testicles still.
Oh, motherfucker. Well, you listen right here. You know, we talked about the horse testicles last episode. I didn't expect to get a goddamn second trailer, okay?
You didn't get a second horse testicle trailer. Was that one of the complaints you had about the first game, Raul?
Yeah, I want
not enough horse testicles for you?
Not enough horse testicles. The reviews have been coming out. 31 on Rotten Tomatoes. So many people are bad mouthing this. Like, did you expect this, Luis?
Yeah, I predicted it since the beginning. I was like, this is gonna be a shit movie that, regardless, we're still gonna spend our money on.
Yeah.
But but it's still gonna be a shit movie.
Yeah.
And who owns this property? Fox?
No, Sony.
Sony knows that they can't do shit with that Spider-Man franchise. Well,
yeah.
Well, they do own the Spider-Man franchise.
Yeah.
They know they can't do shit with it
because they don't have
Spidey. This was like a last attempt at trying to pull into the big Marvel Disney game, but they failed miserably. And honestly, like, I don't want to watch it, but I know I have to regardless because well, you just need to know for yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, you guys, like, you know, if you want to listen to critics and reviews like that, you know, you have that right. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think you should go watch the movie for yourself to really make a decision. But I agree with Luis. We called it, man. They first of all, from the beginning of it, when they said that they were not going to be that Spidey was not going to be in it, I said that's a problem because the Venom story is so attached to Spidey. Mm-hmm. That it's hard for you to make a movie without Spidey and it be a Venom movie. And then all the reshoots, and then they said, oh, this was never going to be a rated R movie. You can't do Venom without being rated R. You can't.
There's too much gore and violence that needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's like having like a Deadpool movie.
PG-13.
Be PG or be under the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe, which now it is going to be part of there, but I think Disney's going to let them stay rated R and shit. So that's good. But yeah, you can't do Venom with that. Just because, and also you can't do Venom without Spidey.
Hey, you want to listen to those shows that you just listened to before? All you got to do is go to our podcast feed. You know, we are on every podcast platform that you could imagine, from iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. But we primarily send our podcast, and it premieres on Anchor. Anchor is this new app that has made podcasting so much more easier, and you're even able to be paid to podcast by listener support. Make sure you can, if you want to start your podcast, you can go to damn it, you know, I'm over here thinking about the Patreon before. You got to go to the App Store, download the Anchor, or you could also upload via your laptop and the internet. So, you know, podcasting has never been made easier. Go to Anchor and do that stuff. You know, they make podcasting so much easier than it needs to be. No need for web hosting because they send your show to all the platforms, and that's how we've been able to get on all these platforms. So make sure you go to www.anchor.fm/thenerdcore. That's where we have our shows, but you can find us anywhere podcasts are found. Just search up the Nerdcore and find that beautiful little logo that we have on there. You can find the Gamer Core, the Nerdcore, the Nerd Chicano Show, plus this show audio format on that feed, and many more shows that are coming soon. Take that as a tease. I don't know. Just remember to keep talking that nerd shit and go and check out our podcast feed. So. All right, we're back. I hope you liked that commercial break. It was pretty cool, right? We got some promo from all the stuff we do here on the Nerd Corps. So, Brad is here. Luis isn't here yet, but Brad's here.
Brad somehow made it here.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna try to control like who is on the call, because this doesn't switch between people when they're talking, and I hate that. So I have to look at, because we're gonna do one cool thing right now. We're gonna do the lines, but also it is giveaway time. Remember, guys, we were giving away a copy of Jupiter Jet Volume 1 by our wonderful friends Jason Inman and Ashley V. Robinson. If you do want to go listen to that episode, we had them on. We talked about Science, their next comic book. It's episode 84, right, Brad? Yeah, episode 84. Go listen to that. They're wonderful people. We had them on the show, and it was wonderful. We've been in a major grind mode ever since we recorded that episode. But in here, everybody who liked and followed us on Instagram, you were in this giveaway. So we'll see what's up. We'll see who wins, because you're gonna get to win that copy of Jupiter Jet Volume 1.
I think I entered that giveaway.
I think Caitlin, you did enter it.
Oh, look at you.
All right, guys. So,
if I win,
who's gonna win it, Brad? How excited?
That's not gonna look bad or anything.
I'm gonna delay this as much as possible. Brad, should they be looking forward to reading Jupiter Jet Volume 1?
Oh yeah, great art, great story, great words. 2 lovely people who write it,
Yeah, great. Hey, remember hashtag Jason Inman for F4. He gave us
about to say, Raul, did your hand get stuck?
Nah, he did a really good pitch of a Fantastic Four movie. So we keep on doing that. So we're gonna see who won. And here I have who won, guys. We'll see who won.
Is it me? Is it me?
Somebody played the noise from it. Somebody played the noise from Inception. All right, it is. What the hell, man? It's my old coworker, Raphael. You won a copy of Jupiter Jet Volume 1. If you don't want it, then we're gonna have to do another recount. But for now, if you're watching this, Raphael, I doubt you're watching this, dude. But you won a copy of Jupiter Jet Volume 1, written by Jason Inman and Ashley B. Robinson. You're probably not going to want it, so I'm going to have to do a recount. So here, I'm going to pull out one more, and I'm going to say if Raphael doesn't want it, then it's going to go to this person.
He's got his hand stuck in the cup again.
No, it's an Infinity War cup.
It's such suspense.
It's Infinity War cup. All right. So if Raphael does not want the comic book, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to... This person is going to end up getting it. KevX38 is one of our newest followers. You will get this comic book if Raphael doesn't want it. And if you don't want it, I don't even know what to do anymore. But you know what? There are winners.
You're going to get it regardless. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Thank you. There are winners. Thank you for being in this awesome giveaway. More to come. There probably won't be one for episode 100, but there is going to be one for after. We're going to do one. Just let us get situated after episode 100. Raphael, I'm going to message you after. If you don't want it, I'm going to have to give it to KevX38. That make it sound like Kev Sex. Like, KevX. No. All right. Let's get this up, Brad. Let's do a movie quotes. Brad, ever since you introduced us to Brad the actor on the episode of Blade Runner where we reviewed Blade Runner.
Get down again.
Down again. We're gonna do a nice little acting today. We are going to read lines from this one movie, and it's one of our favorites, from Inglourious Bastards, directed by the legendary Quentin Tarantino. Brad, what do you want me to read, and what do you have to read?
Do you see those 2 words in the middle right there?
Yes, sir.
That's all you got to read.
Okay. All right. So, I don't have my clap. Well, you know what? Hold up. I will be right back. Brad, steer the ship. I'm gonna go get my clapboard.
Steer the ship right into the glacier. Yep, you got it. Well, so yeah.
Welcome to the Titanic.
Well, thank you. Let's play them violins. Yeah. Hope everybody had a lovely buffet.
Are you ready?
Let's go swimming.
Yeah, this is actually the clapboard for the film I was filming over this. I tried to film over the summer, but it's not Inglourious Bastards. But all right, Brad reads lines. Scene 1, action.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers, 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now, y'all might have heard rumors about the Armada happening soon. Well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're going to be dropped into France dressed as civilians, and once we're in enemy territory as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only, killing Nazis. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure as hell didn't come down from the goddamn Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of water, fight my way through half of Sicily, and jump out of the fucking aeroplane to teach the Nazis lessons in humanity. Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating mass murder maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every son of a bitch we find wearing Nazi uniform, they're going to die. Now, I'm the direct descendant of the mountain man Jim Bridger. That means I got a little engine in me. And our battle plan will be that of an Apache resistance. We will be cruel to the Germans, and through our cruelty, they will know who we are, and they will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. And the German won't not be able to help themselves, but to imagine the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us, and the German will talk about us, and the German will fear us. And when the German closes their eyes at night and they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done, it will be with thoughts of us they are tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear, but I got a word warning for all you would-be warriors. When you join my command, you take on debit. A debit you owe me personally. Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps, and I want my scalps. And all y'all will get me 100 Nazi scalps taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis, or you will die trying.
Damn, Brad, you sure you shouldn't have played for the part, bro?
For real.
Nah, Brad Pitt got it.
Yeah, Brad Pitt
He's got it down.
The wrong Brad.
Yeah, Brad, I hold up. I think I got chills, man. You look at that? Look at that. Man, Brad, why didn't you ever try to do acting?
Not one of those things I was ever steered towards.
Oh, come on, Brad. You know, as a young boy watching Nosferatu in the 1920s, you know, you had to get an niche for acting.
Hey, the Seventh Seal is perfect.
Brad, you know, we constantly like to play around with your age, but tell people your actual age. It's like around 80-something, right?
Fuck yeah, it's like 802, man.
You know, Brad was
it's called lotion.
Yeah, Brad was alive for a lot of things. You know, he was alive for the most of the silent movie decade, and you know,
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, you know Charlie Chaplin. He was friends with Charlie Chaplin, actually.
Yeah, he was my peep, but he dead now.
Yeah, I don't know how you haven't escaped death yet. Fucking vampire, man. You're like immortal and shit.
Yeah, I know Nicole Kidman too.
Yeah. Hey, Nicole Kidman does not age, and she is a beautiful woman. Okay, we leave Nicole Kidman alone here. We protect her at all costs. So, if you guys enjoyed that, please tell us so we can get another quote next show. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm sorry. I do not want to burp into the mic like I do on the regular podcast. We're moving on to some good stuff. You know, we're gonna talk about that Aquaman trailer. Whether y'all like it or not, that Aquaman trailer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
so
who wouldn't like that?
Brad, I want to know too.
For Aquaman, genius. He's such a good Aquaman.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we were just talking about this before we were during the break. You know, Aquaman was really one of the saving graces of Justice League. You know, he was really, really good in that movie. I cannot picture anybody else to bring the tenacity and the fierce look to Aquaman than Jason Momoa. For y'all who don't know, and what's it called? You're gonna get to know him if you're following our Game of Thrones reviews. Starting this month, we are reviewing every season of Game of Thrones per month. We're starting with season 1, so you're gonna get to know where Jason Momoa got his big break from, and it's Game of Thrones when he plays on Khal Drogo.
Yeah, but don't get attached to him.
I remember he was.
Yeah, don't get too attached to him.
Don't get too attached to anyone.
Yeah, no, don't get attached to anyone in George R. R. Martin's universe.
Yeah. So
I really like that character, and they're gone.
There's like two things. There's gonna be two things I want to bring up with this trailer. First of all, James Wan is about to create one of the most authentic superhero movies that we've seen. Because if you saw that freaking one take throughout the village, and they're going up into the building, they're getting chased by Black Manta, and that whole continuous one take that he brings from his horror films that he does. James Wan is about to make something truly special. This looks so good because James Wan is directing it. And 2, that orange suit. God damn, that orange suit.
Yes.
He makes that orange suit look good.
Bring back the OG suit, and they did it.
Brad.
You know, I never thought they would use that from the comics.
Right.
Just because of how ugly that thing was.
It looked good.
Yeah, it looked good in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that metallic. I think it's that metallic shine compared to like the tights. The
Yeah,
tights in the
the
comics.
tights and the yellow, and just it's not.
Yeah. I want to get the thoughts first from the guest. What did you enjoy the most out of this trailer?
I'll let you go first because you swoon over Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Jason
Honestly,
Mimosa.
I just feel like the casting decision for Jason Momoa, like when they originally decided to bring him in to the DC universe as Aquaman, it was a genius decision, and it's one that's going to kind of like change the public's opinion of Aquaman, because it's been for so long, it's like, oh, he's the lamest superhero, like he's so useless he can only talk to fish, which are all things that I've heard about Aquaman up until these movies, and now it's like Aquaman's such a badass, like he's really doing some shit. So
he drinks whiskey and talks to fish.
Yeah.
People up. So
who else would have had that power except for Jason Momoa? Come on, like I really couldn't see anybody else.
It could have been him or The Rock, but The Rock is too. I feel like he's too bulky to play Aquaman.
No, because The Rock is going to be Black Adam. They can't have him be Aquaman.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Jason Momoa was born for this role. Brad, when you saw that orange suit, did you say, "Holy shit, Batman," or did you say, "Wow, what a man"?
I gotta go with what a man, because just the beard and just like I'm just jealous, you know.
Yeah, the hair and everything. Like I could grow a head of hair like that.
Yeah, he is.
Get so tan like that, you know.
Tan, like, you know, he posted on Instagram. He put like, "Who's gonna make fun of Aquaman now?" And he put that shot of the orange suit. I'm like, no, not me, man. Nah, man. This fish talking superhero is about to come in theaters in December 21st. It's gonna come to theaters. We're gonna review that, and I'm so ready. This is gonna be the movie that is gonna make people fans of Aquaman. Finally, it's not gonna be I just talked to fish. It's gonna finally be that is a man's man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
because you started to see it happen in Justice League, where they were kind of like reshaping the image of Aquaman from like this is a total bitch superhero to this is like he is a superhero, and now they're treating him as such.
Yeah. I love the little line from the Screen Junkies. I think it was the honest trailer. It's like get to know Aquaman, the what's it called, the king of the broshin, and it's like, oh, because you know he was like the very dude bro Aquaman surfer dude, and you know it's like, you know, it does give off that vibe, but he is so fucking badass as Aquaman.
Yeah, dude bro.
I honestly didn't get that vibe from him. I got the like, oh, Aquaman is a badass superhero. Like he's not. You're just. Like you're like what people believe, like you said, you know, just talk to fish, and like no, he will fucking take eels and shove them up your ass and make them come out your fucking mouth. You know, that's the Aquaman he is perceived as, in my opinion.
I mean, although he is that surfer dude, bro, like, so it's not a reach for people to say that he is like a dude, bro, a surfer guy, because in real life he is that man. So it's just separating kind of like the character itself from the actor who plays the character in that sense.
Aquaman, he will turn you into a nightlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I love that.
Bro, here's the jellyfish.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last piece of movie news that we're talking today. It had to come down to this. Mr. Chris Evans finally wrapped up shooting on the reshoots for Avengers 4, and this is what the man had to tweet. Officially wrapped on Avengers 4, it was an emotional day to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honor. To everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and the audience, thank you for the memories. Eternally grateful. Oh, did this man just say that he's dead?
He dead.
He did.
I've been saying that since before Avengers 3 came out. I've been saying that his contract is almost up. He said in the movie, I hope this isn't spoilers. He said in the movie, we don't sacrifice human lives for human lives. He said that, and I feel like that's foreshadowing for, hey, I'm gonna die at the end of Avengers 4.
Oh, man, here is my 100% prediction for this, and I think it's too early for me to predict what's gonna happen with this movie. I think people are not looking at this time stone as much as they should be. I think Cap is going to get the chance to go back with Peggy Carter. Ooh. And I think he's going to want to stay on that timeline.
That's a good one.
Just to go back in time, stay with her. Or if they do what everybody's been saying, he dies, and our final scene with Cap will be that flashback scene. Well, not that flashback scene, the dream sequence in Avengers: Age of Ultron, when he's in the dance hall with Peggy Carter. Mm-hmm. I think that will be our last time we see Chris as Cap, and he's going to be there dancing with Peggy as he finally rests in peace.
Like, it's the end of an era. Like you said, he's been playing this role for 8 years, and you've seen him grow and change throughout these 8 years into, like, a different kind of Captain America.
Yeah.
Because the original Captain America, like, in the first few movies that he did, it was more of, like, a naive kind of Captain America. Like, hey, the world is, great. The world is good. This, everything can be fixed. Everything can be saved. But as the movies move on, you see him become more, like, open to the idea of, darkness sometimes winning. Because it does happen. Yeah.
So, Brad, what do you think, and will you be singing "Oh Captain, My Captain" at Avengers 4 premiere?
Well, I definitely put money that he's dying at the end of this.
For sure.
So, I'd put money down on that. And, yeah, I always go out with "Oh Captain, My Captain." Duh.
Oh Captain, My Captain. Now, what I'm going to ask the chat, well, not the chat, well, the chat too, if you guys want to put in there, who will be the leader of the Avengers post-Avengers 4?
Hawkeye, duh.
Shut up, Brad. My choice may not be as
it might be Captain Marvel.
You know who I think it's gonna be? I think it's gonna be Spidey. I think he's groomed to become the leader.
No, you gotta remember that Sony contract though.
You gotta
remember that Sony contract.
So
they have Marvel can use Spidey in their movies as long as they make movies for Sony, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe they'll make Spider-Man because he's too young. First of all, he's too young and too naive. Like he like if it was like comic book Spider-Man who he's like, okay, I know I have all this responsibility, all this power, I need to save as many people as I can. Like, yeah, but like the Spider-Man they're using right now, he's naive. He's 15. Like, he can't take care of a whole ass squad,
Yeah.
Maybe if you said like Black Panther, if you said Doctor Strange, like that would make a little bit more sense, just in a sense because they have more experience dealing with leading a whole team compared to Spidey, where he's just now getting into like, hey, my actions have consequences no matter how good or how bad I deem them to be.
Yeah, it's like what we were talking about just now with the Captain America situation, where he starts out naive and then gets more into like this leadership role. He's like, these are the people I gotta protect, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Spidey because Tony is grooming him to be this big leader. And if you can tell in Avengers Infinity War, he does have some of those leadership personality traits. And I know he's like, I should have stayed on the bus, but yeah, like, spoiler warning for those who haven't watched Infinity War, but I don't know how you can skip on a live show. Spidey bit the bullet. You know, he's done. He's dust.
Yeah, he did.
So I think after he comes back, he's gonna have a very different perspective, and we're gonna see that a lot in Far From Home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think
before or after Avengers 4.
Far From Home is after Avengers 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's Captain Marvel March 8th, my birthday, and then it's gonna be Avengers 4 May. May 8th, I think. I can't remember. And then July is gonna be Far From Home, which we already got the set photos of Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio confirmed. So that's the last piece that I had. Anybody want to say anything before we move on to some final stuff that we had to talk about? And Brad, you're looking all lonely there. Tell me, who do you think is going to be the leader?
It's definitely be Wong.
Wong was like, "Fuck y'all, man! I'm getting my tuna
milk."
The
smartest out of that. Like, I'm out.
Protect the sanctum, my ass.
I'm looking through. That's what I was doing. I was checking the list of all the Avengers. I'm looking through. You know, I'm gonna go with Black Widow.
Really?
Really? I mean, if you're gonna go with her own movie, you know, why not put her as leader? I can't really see. You know, if Tony is getting ready to step down, you can't really put Thor. Can't really do Hulk. Hawkeye is just kind of a joke. Spider-Man's too young. Yeah. War Machine and Sam Wilson. I mean, War Machine maybe, but Sam Wilson, I can't see it. But Black Widow would be my pick.
No, they could do Captain because Captain Marvel has been. Most likely they're gonna say in her movie that she's been in the shadows there the entire time. Right, they're probably gonna go that route and make her the leader, maybe, or they could go Tony Stark, or you know, one of the older people who know what they're doing.
It's gonna have to be somebody who's been there from the beginning.
Maybe, but you don't know that though, because they said after Avengers 4, it's gonna be a whole new, crew, like a whole new Avengers team. If that makes any sense. That's why the Black Panther came along. That's why Captain Marvel's coming along, and then who else? We don't know who else they're gonna bring along.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and been praying for it for a long time. Our Afro Latino Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I need my Boricua in this movie. Damn it. Yeah, but I think for sure we're gonna get some new faces. Probably Kamala Khan. Probably. You know, it's so hard to tell with Thor. I don't know if Thor makes it out alive after Avengers 4. I think part of the OG squad is gone. Like Cap, Tony, gone. I don't know what to tell with Thor. I don't know if Thor's leaving.
Man, if Tony, Cap, and Thor all leave, this is truly the end of an era.
Yeah. Oh man, Brad, you're as old enough to remember the first Captain America issue. So can you? Will you be sad?
I remember the Avengers originally when they were dust, before they were dust.
Oh man. Well, you know, you can probably find some dust on those old issues you got from the first Captain America. So
I got the first appearance of Carnage. Does that count?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. But will you be sad if Captain leaves?
Yeah, I think Chris Evans plays a great Cap, but is it time? Yeah, I think it's time. He's ready to go. They're ready to go on to new stories. So yeah.
All right.
Let him put up the shield.
Time to put up the shield, and we'll see where we go with Avengers 4. We really could just hope for the best. And I'm going to go into the last two segments. The last two segments is one of them will be a nice little fun share. I want to ask y'all about your worst theater experience ever. This could be the one time, you know, like during the movie you got the runs and you had to go take a massive shit, or if the popcorn didn't sit well and you had to puke outside, or, you know, just give me your worst theater experience. I'm going to start off with my first one. I got the runs, man, like really bad. Like it was Suicide Squad, you know. I was really excited.
No wonder you hate that movie more than you hate that movie.
Well, you know what, Brad? I didn't like it after I saw it, but during it, I was like, it was towards the beginning. I'm like sitting there. I'm like I really need to go really bad, and you know, damn.
So did you even like see all the movie, or were
no,
you like in and out of there?
Bro, I took the quickest shit I've ever taken in my whole life. So I said, oh, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It can pass. It passes for a little bit, comes back up, and you know damn well that you don't trust the fart when you've got the runs.
No.
I tried to sneak one off, and it's like if you felt something touching down there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get the fuck up. I gotta get out of here. I go down running so fast. I take the fastest shit of my life, and I come back, and I get to watch the rest of the movie. I'm thinking to myself, could have shit my pants right there in that fucking seat, man. I cannot. And for this movie, hell, I would have not done that. But there's also been the time where I've had to sit down with countless babies, like so many times those babies have cried to the hell, man. And you just see like the parents there, they're like, okay, it's like you can take them outside, I'm trying to watch the fucking movie. I'm trying to listen to the fucking movie. Yeah. Or the time a fight almost broke out at my theater. They had to come in and separate. Like, hey, let's get out. It was in a fight that was gonna break out. God,
where the fuck are you watching movies at?
God, I love my theater. God, I love my theater. All right, our guests, give me your worst theater experience.
You wanna go first?
Yeah, sure, why not? My worst theater experience. I almost actually pissed myself in the theater because I had to pee so bad. I was watching Get Out, and I didn't want to move because it was one of those movies that, like, glued you to your seat. You never knew what was happening next. It was just one of those ones that kept you on edge the whole time, and I was like, I am not missing a minute of this movie. So I was actually on a date when I was watching that movie. And as soon as we got, like, outside of the theater, as soon as the movie ended, I was like, I'm sorry, I need to use the bathroom. And I just, like, ran to the other side of the theater to go to the bathroom. And I was sitting there for a good 2 minutes just, like, pissing. I was like, oh, my God.
And those pisses, like, when you're saying, like, damn, when is this going to end? And it's just, like, for the next 30 seconds, you're just...
For real. It's just one of those ones that took forever because it's, like, you hold it in so long, your body's just like, yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've been there, done that. All those post-credit scenes in the Marvel movies. God, they feel like forever when you have to take a piss.
The worst.
Do. Yeah. So, Kevin, give me your worst experience. Did you get close to shitting your pants like I did?
Yeah. Okay. No, it wasn't that. Okay.
Oh man, I
Do you
guess I'm
remember
alone in
those
this.
like cheap $2 theaters that would play like movies that have been out of the rotation?
Oh, excuse me.
No, don't worry.
That was a good one.
Do you remember those movie theaters that are play like movies that are already out of theaters, but before they hit DVD?
Mm-hmm.
They'll play for like $2-3.
Yeah, it's called the dollar theater where I'm at.
I want to say it was in Southgate, California. I think Southgate or Huntington Park, one of those two. But we got there, and the stench of the popcorn butter was so bad that I nearly vomited in the car when we pulled in because that smell was so strong. And it was me, my brother, and then my neighbors, and then their mom. And I was like, I can't go in. Like, I'm going to throw up if I go inside. So, like, they're like, no, come on, let's go. Just, stand there. Like, no, I'm going to, like, I was already, like, dry heaving in the car.
Oh, my God.
So, they took me home. My brother was mad. And I felt bad that they had to bring me home. But, I mean, I couldn't go inside that theater because I was going to vomit. I don't know what it was. If it was the popcorn, the butter, something. But something in me was like, no, you cannot step in there.
Do not do it whatsoever. Dude, I feel you. I've had countless times where it's like, where I smell the stuff. Like, if it's a bad day that they're making bad popcorn, I smell, I'm like, no.
Yeah, like if they burn a batch, that whole theater just smells like burnt popcorn after that. And it's just like, no thanks.
No thanks. Brad, I'm going to go ahead to you, and I'm also going to send you the link for the last segment where I read the first scene of It 2017. Brad, give me your worst theater experience. It might be the Deadpool 2 theater experience.
You already knew it was the Deadpool 2 experience. So, in the theater, there's this lady. It was the $5, I think, Tuesdays, like you said.
Gotta love those $5 Tuesdays, man.
Yeah, she was drunk and high. So luckily she only stayed like through about 1/3, 1/2 the movie, but she talked throughout the whole fucking thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it wasn't like at the movie. It was at her either husband or boyfriend, and she kept whenever like Domino would come on screen, she would go look to her boyfriend or husband and go, "Is that your angel?" And we're like, "What the fuck?"
What you talking about,
like,
man?
every time she went on the screen, and I'm like,
Domino could hit me in the face, and I'd take it with a smile.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, every time she got on the screen, and I'm just like, you know, I would say something, I'm afraid she would either shoot or stab me because she was that out of it.
Jesus. Could you imagine, though? Like, I would joke about it once or twice, but, like, every time, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, she has a jealousy issue. That's
a little bit. And you know, the guy, he was patient as could be. He's like, shh, shut up.
Oh, my God.
Trying to watch the movie.
My friend, I actually went to go see, what movie was it? I went to go see the My Hero Academia movie that was in theaters. God, what was it? Last Saturday, actually, last week. I went with a couple of friends. One of our friends turns to the both of us, and he's like, as soon as that movie starts, both of you just need to shut up because I want to watch this movie. And, and the thing is that we were the ones that shut up, but he was the one that kept like tugging on my sleeve because I was sitting in between the two of them. He would tug on my sleeve and he'd be like, "Tell Brian this or tell him that," and I'd be like, "Oh."
It's like, bro, you just told me to shut the fuck up.
I know, you told me to shut up, but like you're the one who's talking.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't want to call out my mom, but what's it called? Going to the movies with my mom is hard because she likes to talk during them. I went to watch Coco, and it's a beautiful movie, but I want to watch that and not have to hear people talking. And I have my mom on one ear, and then I have the kids on the other side, and then I have the phones going off, and it's like, come on, guys, like you guys know proper theater etiquette, damn it.
Yeah, it's like basic respect for the other people in the theater. I never saw it in theaters, but I saw recently that it's actually on Netflix, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen it yet.
Beautiful movie. I think Kevin can vouch for me. The greatest portrayal of our abuelas.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Well, then you'll know what I mean when I tell you that the abuela is like accurate as fuck, dude.
Because like I know you remember the movie, the other like Mexican. I want to say Mexican in quotations because the was it the Valor of Elena?
Oh, you mean the Book of Life?
Was it?
Yeah, the other one was Book of Life.
Yeah, Del Toro was producing that one. Yeah.
It had all the sugar skulls.
Yeah, but like supposedly, okay, did you see that movie?
No, man, I've not watched it.
It was supposedly like a really, really whitewashed, stereotypical Mexican movie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I watched a ton of those in my time.
And that just like it made me mad because like they could have had it was the Book of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing that they do that with a lot of movies, unfortunately, where they're supposed to have like what we see the most right now and what's more prevalent, what more people are noticing is that with movies that are supposed to have Asian characters and they're supposed to have an Asian cast, they're casting white people. Like when they casted Scarlett Johansson for what was it, like Ghost in the Shell, I think it was.
Oh, that one.
Everybody was mad because they shouldn't have casted her, and then they were making jokes like, "Oh, this movie is supposed to have like an African American male in it. They're gonna cast Scarlett Johansson."
Yeah. Oh, and
those memes were my favorite. But you see it a lot in Hollywood and a lot in movies where they choose to whitewash these things. And Netflix, like I know they took heat for it, with like Death Note not sticking true to what the character should have been because it's a very westernized movie, and I think that contributed to the fact that it was like so bad. It kind of like just contributed to the idea that this movie is awful. I've never even watched it because everybody that I've asked is just, no, it's terrible. Like, don't do it to yourself. And I was like, okay, terrible. I won't.
Yeah, but
it's so bad it's funny though.
But
I had someone sending me like pictures from the movie and like pictures of the character and stuff because I was talking about it in a group chat with a few of our other friends, and because it just came up out of nowhere, and I was like, it came up because I said that I was almost done actually reading the books, and I was gonna start watching the anime that was on Netflix because they have the original animated series on Netflix and you can watch it subbed, which is really good. Like, I'm glad that they put that on there, and they were warning me against watching anything that Netflix is coming out with these days where, you know, they're supposed to be casting Asian characters. They don't cast the right people.
Which I do want to give the applause to Ed Skrein. When he found out his character was of Asian descent, was an Asian man in the Hellboy reboot that we're going to get, he stepped down from the role, and he said, no, I'm not going to play this. I want them to cast an actual Asian man in this role. And I give the applause, you know, to that. You know, it takes a lot to realize that, you know, that you're not fit for the role. And we're moving towards representing all these groups correctly, but we're still a long way to go. Especially, we can see Ghost in the Shell as being the prominent example for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Scarlett Johansson, Sam Jackson, close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely wild that. Because there's a lot of people that say that it isn't a problem, but it's obvious. It's very obvious that it is an issue that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times Hollywood doesn't want to address, and a lot of the times these actors don't want to address because of the money that they're making and the money that gets put into making these movies. Yeah. So they don't want to have like these lower profile actors that haven't really been in any movies because they refuse to cast like POC actors, and they don't want to cast POC actors because a lot of what people will watch is white people, and that's like, it's more pandering to a racist audience more than anything else.
Yeah. And I before we move on to the last segment, I know that I've been wanting this for a long time. Been asking for my Latino superhero, but recently it's told there's a rumor that Pedro Pascal will be the main protagonist in the Jon Favreau Star Wars series. That will be coming to the Disney streaming service, The Mandalorian. So more, you know, when I watched Rogue One, I cannot explain to you the amount of happiness I felt when I saw Diego Luna on there. And when he started talking with the accent, I said, wow, that's how my parents speak. That's how my cousins speak. You know, that's my people being represented right there on the screen. So I think Disney has the right idea right now, and it still is fucking up in some cases, because we're not going to ignore the elephant in the room. They did cast white extras and try to brown them up, quote unquote, by painting them brown on the set of Aladdin, which is 100% blackface. And, you know, they still mess up there. But, you know, they seem to be getting other stuff right by having, you know, Coco being probably the best representative film of the Mexican culture. And they also have, you know, all these great things that they're doing. So we're going to move on to one last segment before we say goodbye. Brad, you have the link open.
I do indeed. Which one are we doing?
The first one is there. It starts with, hi, Georgie.
That's not what I got.
Oh, come on, bro. Be like this with me, man.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. You're going to do Georgie. Can you play a very accurate Georgie?
I can try.
All right. Just hold up. I'm going to try to get into method. All right. So, Raul impersonates Pennywise. Act 1, Scene 1. Action. Hiya, Georgie. Want a nice boat? Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
You look like a nice boy. I bet you have a lot of friends.
3, but my brother is my best.
Where is he?
In bed, sick.
I bet I can cheer him up. I'll give him a balloon. You want a balloon, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown. Pennywise, yes. Meet Georgie. Georgie, meet Pennywise. Georgie's supposed now we aren't strangers, aren't we?
What are you doing in the sewer?
Don't ask me, motherfucker. That's not the line. A storm blew me away. Blew the whole circus away. Can you smell circus, Georgie? Because peanuts, cotton candy, but hot dogs and popcorn.
Popcorn?
Is that your favorite?
Uh-huh.
Mine too. Because they pop, 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 pop. Georgie, do you want to read your line?
I should get going now.
Oh, without your boat? You don't want to lose it, Georgie. But Bill's gonna kill you. Take it. Take it, Georgie. And that was the Nerdcore Live Show episode 2. And this is Pennywise signing off. All right. That was the live show. I want to thank our guests for being on here with us. Thank you so much for being on here. We will see you on another episode. But for now, you guys know what you got to do. You got to visit us on Twitter on the Nerdcore_, Instagram at the Nerdcore. Also, make sure you follow our page on Facebook, the Nerdcore Pods. You got to go to Patreon too, viewers. Look at all those tiers. We got cool stuff. I will definitely not be doing Pennywise again, but if you want me to do a Joker, then I think I can do a good one.
You think you would make a Patreon goal, like for you just do one whole podcast in a Pennywise voice?
I don't know about that one, Kevin. But we do have right now goals at $75. I dye my hair green and I cosplay the Joker throughout live shows. And we also have it at 100 where Brad shaves the wonderful beard. I can't show you the picture. I was going to show you all, but this has been a convoluted show. So he also shaves his head. Luis, who wasn't here, he shaves it with the razor. And
also, this episode will be titled, Dude, Where's My Luis?
Dude, Where's My Luis? I'm going to change that. I had it as Turds in the Wind at the moment, but it will be Dudes, Where's My Luis? But thank you so much. Our guests, let them know where they can find you on the internet, and then we will go to the Young Yoda.
I'm on Twitch, Boomer Boomsyo. Twitter, same thing, Boomer Boomsyo. Instagram, Boomer Booms without the yo. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. Follow me, stalk me, whatever.
On Twitch, you can follow me at restless_moonchild. My personal Instagram is underneath the same name, and my makeup Instagram is under true.succubus, and that's where you can find me.
Yeah. Remember, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Nerdy Chicano. And Brad, tell them where they can find you.
Random Germ 101 everywhere.
Well, thank you so much for the coming out to the live show. We will see you in 2 weeks as we bring you another live show with a pre-show for the patrons. And before we leave, I would like to announce the new show coming to the podcast feed coming soon, the Mexi Gamers, hosted by Raul and Ashley, as we celebrate our Latino culture and we discuss the many various aspects around pop culture as well. So come to see that soon. But in the meantime, this has been the Nerdcore Live Show. Remember, you can find us on all podcast platforms. Listen to the audio version or not, it does not matter because we're everywhere, and I'm just stalling so I can pick up OBS. So, as always, Brad, for the listeners on the audio version, this has been your Nerd Chicano. I'm signing off. Send them into the podcast void.
All right. Thank you, Raul, being host as always. Thank you to our guests for keeping them company while I was away. Thank you guys for listening, watching, and to our Patreon supporters, thank you so much for your support monetarily and by listening. And I guess in the next episode, I will still want those Nazis scalps. Young Yoda out.